week 31 of Ordinary Time brings us closer to the close of the liturgical year, cycle A, to give way to the new liturgical year's cycle B, which begins with Advent and prepares us for Christmas. In this closing, the liturgy proposes an itinerary, a path that helps us deepen our authenticity. The Gospel of Matthew invites us to begin this path of authenticity with a deep review of our way of acting, so that we can prepare to eradicate all types of hypocrisy from our lives. Today's gospel is very serious criticism of religious experts and those who have some kind of power over people. When they act with hypocrisy, Jesus will tell us, do everything they say, but do not imitate their actions, because they say one thing and do another. How many times, my brothers and sisters, do the same? We say one thing and do other. Or we make it promises and we don't keep that promises. For Jesus, the hypocrisy of those who had power, any type of power, is manifested in these 5 aspects. First one, putting heavy burdens on people. And we see that everywhere. Putting heavy burdens on people. It's sad, but it's true that even in the church, that happens. We priests sometimes we just give orders. Tell the people, do this, do that, and we don't do anything. Sometimes we've been lazy. It's true. It's sad, but it's true. And we can see that also in classrooms. Sometimes we see that in schools. Teachers put heavy burdens in their students. Professors put many burdens in their students. So, number 1, act so that people see it. And that's happened also all the time, everywhere. We do things in order to people see it. And that is against the virtue of humility. You know, we do things and we ring the bell. Look at me. Look at me, what am I doing? And that is against that virtue of humility. You know, if you want to do something, do it that only God knows. You know, make your right hand don't see what your left hand is doing. And that happens today, in these very days. Number 3, twist the law and thereby twist the truth. And that happens in this, in actuality. You know, especially in the church, you know, there is a lot of confusion outside. A lot of confusion about what's going to happen with the church, what happened with this, what happened with that. Sometimes we twist that truth and the people got confused. It is what happened. It's a lot of confusion around because priests don't doing their job properly. Number 4, seek to be the first. And this particular point move us to do crazy things, my brothers and sisters. We'll remove anyone who crosses us, regardless of whether we hurt them. And that does happen. If we want to do something, and if somebody out there could block our way, we tell them, get out of my way. I want to do this, and I don't care what you say. Just get out of my way. And we hurt them because we want to be the first. And that is against the virtue of charity. Jesus will also tell us that the only thing that we can eradicate this hypocrisy is a life as brothers. But not a conventional brother. Not a conventional brotherhood, because we are very selective. Even in our own houses, we are very selective. Fathers love a specific boy in the family. I love this more than this. And some kids, I love more my mom than my dad. So we are very selective. But one that is built in the basis of mercy, simplicity, authentic justice, closeness, and encounter, and on the basis of humility. A brotherhood that is not to protect me or take care of me, but support and take care of all of us. Protect by mutual respect, valuation, and appreciation. I will repeat this. A brotherhood that is not protect me or take care of me, but support and take care of all of us. Because if we do the contrary, it's selfishness, it's ego, it's all about me. I don't care you. It's all about me. That is not real brotherhood. And that happens in families too. Who presents himself to others as he is and without posturing. He who does not have to hide his gifts and his fears, his frailties and strength, his limitations and possibilities, his errors and successes, is a real person. I will repeat that. If you present to others as you are without posturing, and you don't hide any of your gifts, your fears, your frailties and strengths, your limitations and possibilities, your errors and success, you are a real person. But if you're doing the contrary, you're not. You fake. You imitating. So, my brothers and sisters, don't be afraid to show yourself as you are. Be original. Be yourself. But if there is something in yourself that is wrong and it's against God's original plan, seek help. Change for good. Don't be afraid. If you want to root out the hypocrisy that kills the soul, do not feel superior to anyone, but equal. Don't feel superior to anyone, but equal. Do not consider yourself the owner of anything, but co-responsible with others, and most importantly, become a servant. of everyone and in all circumstances. Become a servant of everyone in all circumstances, time and place. Not only in the church, I will be a good guy. Not only in my school, I will be a good guy. If you want to be good everywhere. Because if you've been good in one place and not in the other place, you're wrong, you're hypocrite. You're acting with hypocrisy. So if you do that, if you help everyone, everywhere, in all circumstances, time and place, I guarantee you will see how your joy begins to emerge. Revealing the life you carry inside. Because we cannot give others what we don't have. So, if you have Jesus in your heart, you have all the graces, you will show that to others. At the same time, it is advisable not to confuse humility with what it is not. Humility does not mean human timidness, nor does it go hand in hand with sadness. Humility is not sadness. True humility is the ability to accept one's radical poverty. And it is not about money. It's not the kind of poverty. It's that the spiritual poverty when you recognize yourself that you need God in your life. I can say I'm a poor if I don't have the virtue of charity. And you can say to Jesus, Lord, I don't have this specific grace. I need it. You pour on that. You recognizing that you're poor on that. And you can tell him, Jesus, I need to be charitable. I need more passion. You're recognizing that you are poor of that. So you need that. That's what it says. That's the meaning of that poverty. That you need of God's mercy. So placing our trust in God. So trust in God. The humble person does not consider anything as due. He is grateful for everything. He is not surprised by his weaknesses. He endures difficulties with serenity because he puts his trust in God. That is why he lives happily. So my brothers and sisters, don't put your happiness in alcohol, in drugs. That is not happiness there. There is no happiness in that. There is also no happiness in material things. So humanity is manifested in various ways. For instance, acting with purity of intention to please God and not man. Always giving the best place to others. Putting others at the center of our conversation. Being interested in them more than others. Talk only about ourselves. Accept our own faults and defects with simplicity. Foster a spirit of service to everyone. Look for opportunities to go unnoticed instead of always trying to give a good image. The attitudes denounced by Jesus in today's gospel, we see daily around us. Saying and not doing. It's many times a lifestyle in our society. Saying and not doing is a lifestyle in our society. And it's very present in today's communities. How many times are we experts in saying what others have to do, and yet we do nothing? How many times we do demand that the other act in this or that way without looking at ourselves first? How many times are we, even Christians, used for the selfish? How many times are we, even Christians, used for the selfie? And that made me think about all that priests and religious nuns in Facebook. The TikToker priest that they spend a lot of time making that videos. And they spend a lot of money to make that videos too. Instead of being in hospitals, anointing the sick, visiting the sick, giving confession, celebrating Mass. But they spend a lot of time doing TikTok videos, selfies. It's not a Christian, I'm not judging them, but it's good to use social media to evangelize, but spend too much time, it's not a good idea. We can use social media, but one time I tried to make a video and I felt like a clown. Making gestures and trying to dance. And what am I doing? Click off the phone and I start doing another stuff. Because we are not like that. I'm talking about priests. I'm not talking about you. But think about it. How many times we are even Christians for the selfie? Let us question ourselves a little like Christians and think about what I am saying with my life. Ask yourself, what am I saying with my life, and what is expressed with my way of acting? Why I'm expressed with my way of acting? And think about the last two lines of today's gospel. If you want to be a good Christian, a true Christian, be a servant. But not a simple servant, a servant like him.